Let me share a story with you. Imagine someone, let's call him Tom, who's been struggling with OCD for years. Every day he's tormented by his unwanted, intrusive thoughts, telling him that something terrible will happen if he doesn't do something right or perform certain rituals. And then there's Jess, who's consumed by health anxiety. She's hyper aware of every sensation in her body. She obsessively monitors her heart rate and becomes convinced that every new sensation is a sign of a serious illness. Now, the problem is not their unwanted thoughts or their unwanted urges, emotions, or body sensations. The problem is that somewhere along the way, those things became linked to their anxiety or their fear response. And therefore, their brain acts as if those thoughts and sensations are literally life-threatening. Now, you may understand how that feels when an experience becomes linked to your anxiety or your fear response. It feels like a crisis, an urgency, like you have to do something about it now. Now, anxiety acts like this binding agent, linking itself to specific thoughts, bodily sensations, urges, images, emotions, ensuring that they become your focus. It's like having this overactive alarm system always on the lookout for danger. But here's the problem. Once the anxiety becomes fused to those intrusive thoughts and sensations, making them this obsessive and reoccurring, it's very difficult to shake off. So how do you uncouple anxiety and unhook anxiety from those unwanted thoughts and body sensations? Well, we practice inviting them in, experiencing them on purpose, while having an attitude of willingness, allowing, and welcoming, yet unconcerned. Now, I had a session earlier today with a client who has the same kind of OCD that I have. I have a history of Sematic Awareness OCD. And we talked about how we go about welcoming and allowing something we don't like, something we don't want to experience. It's scary. And, we all might have our own way of actually doing that internally. I do it by letting down my guard. I soften my attitude. I allow my somatic awareness into my consciousness, and then I allow it to just float there in the background. I know it's there. I don't check on it. I don't interact with it. And I let my anxiety do whatever it decides to do in the moment. Calling up your unwanted intrusive thought, sensation, urge on purpose, and then not responding to it or trying to avoid it is what trains your brain that you're no longer afraid. And as you may know, that technique is known as ERP, exposure and response prevention. It involves consciously allowing the sensation to be present with this attitude of willingness without trying to avoid it or distract yourself from it. And by repetitively exposing yourself to those thoughts and sensations in this controlled manner, when they happen to present themselves, you can build new safety associations that override that old fear network in your brain and improve your ability to tolerate whatever anxiety shows up. So understanding how anxiety can unintentionally link to something that we're experiencing is essential. And the next time that you notice that a thought, urge, sensation creates anxiety, let down your guard. Have this attitude of softness and willingness and allowing whatever experience happens to show up. I left you a link below for OCD and health anxiety self-quiz, and there's more resources at PaigePradko.com. Until next time, I'll see you in session. Take care. Bye-bye.